Thank you for tuning in another episode of cumminsforumhelp.com. What we have here today is for a fuel filter change. We have our basic tools that we're going to need. Here's our fuel filter. This is straight from Cummins. It's FS19855, and with our O-ring inside, still in the bag. We have our half-inch drive, and we have most important tool is our 1/8 socket. This is to remove the fuel filter cap for our trucks. Now that you've seen the basic tools, we're gonna get this started. Here's the second thing we do. We get under our trucks. We have our oil pickup, and we look for the hoses that lead to our fuel filter. Once we have that, it's right near your front axle if you're 4x4. If you're not, it's right next to the oil pan. We put our pickup right under it, and on to the next step. Our next step is to climb up onto our trucks. We get up, we go down to where the fuel filter is, right here, and we see that yellow drain valve. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drain it from the fuel. Here we go. To drain the sucker, all we have to do is pull back on the valve. We pull back on it, and fuel should start leaking down. Some people have a mayonnaise jar to catch all the diesel. Unfortunately, I don't have a mayonnaise jar. All I do is for the oil. So we're just gonna let all the fuel drain out. And once most of the fuel is drained out, what we're gonna do is close the valve, and we're gonna start opening our fuel filter cap. Once we have all the fuel drained out, we put in our 1/8 socket into the fuel filter housing, and we use our 1-inch drive, and counterclockwise we remove the fuel filter. Once we have it loose, very nice and slowly, you start turning. And once you have it loose, take out your socket, place it down, and the fuel filter cap should come right off. And there you have it, guys, our dirty fuel filter. I don't know if you can see in the bottom, but there's sludge on the bottom, so this filter hasn't been changed for a while. And it's a little sideways, but let's go and compare. Next thing I advise is put in a shop towel and clean the inside of the fuel filter housing, just to get all the dirt and gunk out of there. You don't have to do this, but I would recommend you do. Here we have our two air filters. As you can tell, it's this one is pretty dirty. This one is also a pretty brand new one. Now, I think people don't notice, and I tell this to anyone I've ever worked with, is that first thing you notice is the filters aren't the same. This filter is obviously a Cummins. I received it from Cummins. This one I have no idea who made this one, but as you can tell, one is slightly bigger, wider than the other. Now when we look on top, we see our differences. This is our Cummins, and this is our no-name brand fuel filter. First thing I can see is this one has a wider opening, this one doesn't. And this is the thing about buying genuine parts for your Cummins. There are better filters out there than our Fleet Guard, but don't buy one of these. And there's sludge on the bottom, so this one did their job, but it's twisted. So don't buy this, buy something better. And the inside of it is metal. This one, clear inside, plastic. You can't see it here, but there's plastic insides. It's two different types of filters. Now we're gonna put this one in, and something I did notice is no O-ring on this one. This one does. This one, there's no O-ring that can be found. So now we're gonna put this sucker in, and let's go. First thing we do is put our O-ring at the edge of our fuel filter cap. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then the fuel filter goes in. And all we have to do now is just screw it in. Once we have the fuel filter back in, we torque it to 24 foot-pounds, and that's it. After this, all we have to do is bump the starter, and it's very simple. We're just going to tighten it right here to finish our fuel filter change. All we do now is we climb into our trucks, put the key in, and we put the key into the on position. We let the fuel pump run. It should be about 15 seconds. And we repeat the process 6 times without turning the truck on to get some fuel into the fuel filter housing. Once you got the truck started, all we have to do now is check for leaks. Check the housing, see if there's any leaks. Look under the truck and see if you so no leaks. You have completed your fuel filter change, and that's it. Turn off your truck and you're done for today.